Adam Savage here in my cave with a one-day build that is a one-day paint. And I've always said that I think I build props just to get the pleasure of painting them, and in this case, it is 100% true. This is the Mandalorian's trusty sidearm for much of the first and second season. It is an Ambar rifle, a disruptor rifle. It shoots one shot at a time with a breech load. Here, the cartridges that you see on Mando's shoulder belt and his belt fit here in this rifle. I'm really happy with its mechanical construction, and now it's time to paint. That is going to involve some dismantling and also some final locking in of parts. There's still some things that spin and move around, and that's because I have to do a final disassembly before painting all these and bringing them back together. Where I am likely to begin on the finishing is this tuning fork. And that's actually the nickname for this rifle, is the tuning fork. I love the look of this thing. In the show, it has this burnt metal gradient from straw all the way to purple, and is a very difficult paint job to get right. The droidicas from episode 1, The Phantom Menace, were painted in the same way, and my former supervisor, Brian Gurnand, concocted that beautiful paint job. I am going to be following some of his institutional knowledge to get this one right. But like I said, first is disassembly, so let's get started. Okay. While I gave this the finish coat of gloss black, which is what I wanted for the undercoat of the chrome that I'm going to give this, I may have to give it a little bit of touch-up here and there before the final paint job. I'm also going to play around with a new chrome paint. Since the finish of this isn't shiny chrome, I can screw up the first try at this finish, but it's one I'm kind of excited about. It might be a really nice solution for getting a high gloss. All right, so there's that. That requires almost nothing, and I can get rid of this. All right. There we go. Is there something I'm forgetting? This is just me removing the final witness marks from the construction of this scope stand. It gets pretty beaten down in terms of the weathering. It gets a bunch of black over it, but I'm just using this 300 grit, 320 grit. I'm gonna take off the final sanding marks. I was planning to do this off the rifle, but somehow I got some crazy glue into a place it shouldn't have been, and I can't fully disassemble this rifle anymore, which is fine. I can work with that. Let's just mark that. Great, that's exactly how far I want it to go. And we'll get a little bit of... Yep. There we go, good. That is definitely never gonna go anywhere. Okay. Now, I only had one chance to get that right. I should have attended to that in a way that bespoke of its higher stakes, but luckily I think I nailed it. All right, so now we're going to sand this joint, and then I'm going to add some glue to it And then hopefully we can make it disappear. Yep. Yeah, okay, so. We're almost good, except that I'm gonna just slowly working up on it. So now I need to lock this guy into its orientation, and that is with the pin. It's precisely as deep as I needed it to be. Holy hell. All right. I know, I could go get a screw bit for this. I know, but by the time I did it, oh, there you go. That's it. Excellent. Now, that is a locked part. Not going anywhere. Oh, no, 'tis. Okay, so why are you still moving? Might have to do a second one up here. Great. Okay. I'm ending up doing a lot more sanding than I originally planned to do here, but yeah, that's what happens. Okay, so that guy, oh, he goes there. Roughly. Okay, I'm going to do another lock-in screw. Wait. Ah, yeah, I see. It's so hard to see this thing. These are little rivets that will register this thing. All right. I think that will just drop down in there. Yeah. These aluminum rivets that I have a gold anodized finish on them, and I wanted to pull that finish off for planting it here as the alignment pin for the scope mount. I should be able to hammer that in and it should just go. Let's see here. There we are. Nice. That's definitely not going to go anywhere. Oh, wow, I barely get it out. Okay, so now I'm going to add a second one, which is down here. Now, to pull off this anodized coating, I'm simply grabbing it in these pliers, which are made for holding screws, and I'm just giving it a pass on the polishing wheel. And there you can see the gold. Here we go. There you go. And stuff. Get a little bit of a whacky pop. Excellent. Okay. Right. There's just this one final bit of assembly, which is that. These guys are aligned. Those guys are aligned. Yes, they are. That works. Right. I've got to mask that. And then I'm painting all these pieces separately. That I think I can glue into place because I'm just not taking this thing apart again. Now the paint that I'm using is a new gloss that I really like, Bare Paint and Primer. This goes on a little heavy. It dries really nicely hard. It takes a little longer to dry, but I really like how the surface feels. It's not one of those paints that feels like a little bit tacky for days. Once it's dry, it's really nice and dry. And I'm overdoing it with this. I could apply my chrome right now, but I just want a consistent undercoat to this. Just a little darker there, that's all. We're gonna break for lunch, let this dry. Oh, wait, I have one more thing to show you. I found a thing that is a blow dryer stand. I'm gonna set this on here. Okay, so I've looked at the reference photos I have. Here's my best guesstimate of the color breakdown here. We have the back chamber. This all seems to be a light gunmetal. The base barrels here and here on either side of the handholds are a darker gunmetal, and I've used a duplicolor GM gunmetal for this. Then there's a shiny chrome for the entire tuning fork, shiny chrome for a few detail pieces in here, and then we get the burnt metal gradient from yellow to purple, both here and also in here. I don't really have to worry too much about order of operations here because this gets a lot of black, like dirt and wash over it. So where to begin is the question. I'm going to do the handles here. These handholds, they're actually gold. So I'm going to use some rub and buff for that. And I think I'm going to do a trick I tried a couple of years ago where I thinned out some rub and buff with lacquer thinner and kind of brushed it on. That'll give me the ability to kind of get into these two zones without marking the paint. Once I have that, this is the new Mirror Chrome. This is Mirror by Stuart Semple. I found out about this chrome from the comments section on YouTube of the last time I was using the Molotow. Someone said, you should try this stuff. And I went and I looked at Stuart's YouTube video promoting this stuff. And it was, in the video, it's pretty spectacular. This is a very small amount of paint, but it's a highly thinned lacquer that, at least in the YouTube video I saw, looked like it spread really well. Also, he did all the application in the first YouTube video I watched with a brush, which is kind of mind-blowing to me. But I'm going to do the same thing. So I think I got to do the light gunmetal on this part first, and that's that part, and everything up to there. So I can just cover this. I do light gunmetal because then when I do the brush chrome, that gets a little bit of the chrome and that guy, and I'll do all that as brush on. Yeah, all of this may change, but keep your station tuned to this channel. I'm about to do some airbrushing, and what I heard was that there was a lot of questions in the last airbrushing video I did about what I do about overspray. And the answer is, I clean it up every now and then. I mean, this shop is like probably 4% overspray. If you look at the surface of some of the workbenches over here, you'll see this thin layer of dust. It's probably the amalgam of 9 or 10 different colors of paint as they settle. Yeah, I eventually want to make a filtered little spray booth that I can pull out and utilize just to manage the fumes, but I haven't done that. So what everyone was wondering is actually true. Yes, the overspray goes freaking everywhere.
That might be too thin. I think I'm going to add a little more paint.
At this point in the painting process, you got to gird your loins for the fact that it's going to look crappy, right? You're doing the basic color breakdown of your model first, and you haven't done any of the blending, and you haven't started any of this, any of that stuff. It's going to look awful until it looks great. It's just one of these things.
All right, here we go. Lovely. I just ran into a little bit of an issue, which is my light gunmetal is actually about the same tone as my dark gunmetal. So I'm going to add some all-clad lacquer aluminum in order to bring its value up just a little bit. So do that. And then hit it with a little bit of this. Now, hopefully all I'll really need here is a light dusting of this stuff. Go with a full cup. I like that. Yeah, nice value. That definitely has a metallic feel to it. I'm really happy with how this is covering. Just going to take a look here, and I may add a little more or less. Actually, I'm not going to touch that. I think this looks terrific too. I'm just gonna keep on going here. Yeah. Nice. I like that. See, that's a light, that's a dark gunmetal. I'm pleased. I'm going to give just a little bit of variance there. There we go. Okay. I don't know if you should follow my methods for cleaning out your airbrush. Yeah. Good enough. That's my motto. Good enough.
If there's one comment I have to say about all of the different 3D prints I've explored of the Amban rifle, is that the edges are too crisp. The real thing has much softer edges than a lot of people are realizing as they're modeling it. Oh, right. I want to try this Rub and Buff Gold thing. Okay. All right, I'm going to see how this does with the rubbing part, the buffing part. Oh, no, it feels pretty dry. I'm just going to make sure it's dry. And these aren't goldy gold. They're just like gold in their kind of blended affect. I'm going to end up going over this with a wash and some airbrush. So I'm not too concerned about getting a perfect finish on this at all. I just would like to get it to be an even texture. I'm going to be kicking this way back. Okay, I think I might be at the stage that I can start to do this guy. All right. Oh, supposed to shake this really well. Apparently, according to Stuart in the video I watched, this goes on very, very thin. Like you want to keep on brushing it to brush away all the brush strokes, and it lays out incredibly thin. I'm really kind of fascinated by this. Look at that. That's the paint on the inside of the cap. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna spin this around, and I'm gonna get all of that. So let's actually, I'm gonna do the broad flat areas first. Let's see here. Okay, I can see how lightly it's applied. Oh, it's a very light application. Yeah, the trick is not to let the bristles bite into the undercoat. Because this is a solvent-based, it can eat at the undercoat if I let it, but it seems to be laying on pretty nicely. Oh, I think I can go on a little thicker than I have been. That's pretty insane for a brush on. I'm still learning the technique, and I might be using the wrong brush. I might not be using the perfect brush for this. I certainly account for that possibility. And Stuart claims that you can easily do a second coat, which I think I might do on this, just in order to get it to see if I can get that shine. I appear to be laying this on almost too thin, so I'm going with a little bit more. I was being a little too frugal with it. That is a pretty astounding finish for a brush on paint. Holy cow. Wow, you really can see when you've got it wet to the correct amount. It's very clear. It immediately starts to be much more highly reflective. There's like an optimal relationship between paint and surface. And I still think I'm probably using a less than optimal brush for this. But in for a penny, in for a pound. I'm just going to complete this with this because again, I go over this with all these transparent colors. Yeah, color me suitably impressed. Okay, so let's let this guy sit here for a second. All right, and then each of these guys gets a little chromey chrome. Okay, so this is definitely going to be a sensitive operation. Damn. This is, I'm really impressed. The thing is about this chrome is that it's so bright, it's actually hiding some crimes, like even its own brush strokes. I mean, I see what he's saying about laying it on really thin. And I think I would get better at choosing the right brush for such a thing, but damn, I'm really happy with that. So what I really like about the thinness of this paint and its shininess is that I literally dipped my brush once before I started painting this thing, and I still have plenty on the end of my brush. That's pretty fantastic. That looks great. Sorry, beep that one out. Well, we already beeped it out. It happened. It happened both before and after I said it. Got to have confidence when you're doing these kind of right up to the line sort of paints. You got to have the confidence of a letterer. Oh my God, people used to do that. Oh, all right. That, for a brush on paint, this is now an important part of my metallic kit, and I haven't even tried airbrushing this stuff. Okay. Oh, right. I have a few more doodads and details to hit with this, and that is things like each of these guys. Beautiful. Beautiful. Marvelous. Wow, if anything, this has gotten way shinier in the interim. And it feels actually semi-dry already. That's fantastic. One thing is I want to give this a clear coat. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna the clear coat helps to deepen the wood grain, make it look more oiled. It makes it richer. Even, and I'm using a semi-gloss, not a gloss, because I don't need high gloss. That's not appropriate. It's not a high gloss item, but semi-gloss is perfect. And I really don't mind this Rust-Oleum. I know I've talked about the virtues of Krylon's clear coat, both, actually all three, matte, semi-gloss, and gloss. This Rust-Oleum, also great. Okay. Yellow, straw, purple, and then blue. All right. It's time to do the burnt metal. I have broken down what the colors are. We have yellow, we have straw, then we have this purple, and we have blue. I have yellow, I have orange. That's not quite what I want. I actually gonna maybe mix the yellow and orange to get the straw I'm looking for, and then I'm gonna mix the red and blue to get the purple I'm looking for, and then I've got blue for this. I've done like blued metal, but I have never done this whole sequence, so I'm kind of both excited and a little scared. There's that one, and then that guy is gonna be right. Yellow down there, then straw to about the bend, purple for here, and then blue out at the end. Okay, so that's 4. I heard something somewhere online about someone having converted a jigsaw to be a paint mixer. Not ready there for that just yet, but it's a great idea. All right, there's blue. Thin it out just a tiny bit, so I'm going to try a little bit of rubbing alcohol. There's a little yellow, and then this will be the straw. And for the straw, I'm going to add a drop of red. Burnt. And a little bit of red in here. This might be too much blue, but we'll see. Come on, there we go. And a little bit of blue here to get our... There we go, some alcohol. Definitely a purple, one that I could use a little more blue in. There we go. This is terrible. That doesn't work at all. No. That's no good. What I really need to do is just do, right, I need to do this, that. I know I look like I know what I'm doing, but I really am making it up. All right, let's try this. Oh, that's going up until the knuckle. All right, I need to make it way thinner. Something's bad with that. Well, actually, it's not too bad. Oy, oh, the spitting is terrible. Okay, the yellow seems to be a different formulation than the blue and even the purple. And for some reason, I am not succeeding at it. Oh, it's not a bad straw color. It's just a bad straw color. There we go. That's the color I wanted. There it is. Okay, here we go. That felt pretty good to me. And that's good because I think that's all the yellow I have left. There we go. Good. And then we're going to wash that out. We're going to go blue on the other side. Now I want to be very gentle with this. Here we go. There's that blue. Nice. Okay. Okay. And now, oh, it looks terrible right now to me. We'll see if I can get the purple going. Okay. Kinda. Just not sure. That feels better. That last thing I did, whatever the hell it was, felt like I kind of got something. Yeah, I think I need a little bit of dark wash and all that around there, but I'm pretty pleased. I know, I forgot to put my mask on for this final airbrushing. I'm sorry. I apologize. I totally slipped my mind in the stress of this. All right. Here, want to see a fun reveal? Here we go. Ha ha ha! Dude, yeah, very happy with that. That's great. So now I'm going to try using an exceedingly tiny brush to do detail work on this. Let's see if I can get it going. This is instantly my new favorite chrome detailer paint. This is, I mean, I'm just kind of gobsmacked by how good this stuff looks. It's just fantastic. I forgot about these little pipes. Those little pipes have to get a gold treatment. All right. Well, the semi-gloss dried beautifully on my walnut stock, and I'm just ecstatic with how it looks. That is a great amount of depth. And I know I never did the inset piece of metal that goes across here, and you're just going to have to forgive me for that because I just didn't get to it. Really, it's not that I didn't get to it, it's that I didn't want to do it. Look, at a certain point, I'll probably get angry enough to do it. What do I need now? I need to put this guy in here. This is going to be a tough one to get in. Yeah. Maybe not as tough as I thought. I'm excited. Yes. Okay, so. Oh, right. I keep forgetting. So sorry. I got to give this thing a coat of black primer. This thing that I've just done here, which is to dust this with matte black primer, it will yield one of my favorite weathered finishes and also one of the fastest. Yes, thank you for noticing. I am using a new blow dryer, this Conair Infinity Pro. Look, I have been accused of being a copper top that's full of hot air, so I thought I'd get a blow dryer that was the same. So, I've given this a dusting of black primer. And as you can see, it's not monolithic at all. It's variegated, and that's exactly the way I want it. This is quadruple zero steel wool. And now it's actually still a little bit, the paint is still a little soft, so I'm actually going to stop here. But I'm going to hit this again once I get it mounted up. Yeah, you can see the reason I love this paint job. And then pull it back off again. All right, I'm going to let that set for a minute. And yeah, look at that. That looks great. Come on. I don't want to scratch this too much. And it is a pop fit for each of these. There we go. I see you. I see you too. Bingo! Oh, come on, come on. Oh. Dude, I'm happy. This will go in there. That is that one. This is this one. And I think, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, that's that one. I have an interesting idea for the black that I'm going to be airbrushing over this to kind of weather it down. Okay, so balance you on my foot, and you get, no, you, that's you, yeah, you're going all the way in there. This looks really kind of crazy right now. Okay. We've got all the colors represented, the United Colors of Mando. Oh, dude. You really get why that whole business, yeah. That's nice and straight up and down. That's good. So I am about to hit this with some black airbrush in order to take it down. Actually, this is still a little soft. I don't really need to worry about that, I guess. Just keep on letting that dry. Now that I'm looking at it, I think my yellow is too yellow, and it's problematic. It's fine here, or it got, yeah, here it's just too yellow, so I'm going to make another batch of straw, and I'm just going to try fixing it with the airbrush. Better. Better. I'm happy with that. That was messy, but effective. So I keep on threatening to tell you something interesting. And it's this. I'm going to use this Encre de Chine black China ink to do some of my subtle airbrushing lines of my, first of all, I've got to take the pressure down. Better. Yeah, this is very subtle. Okay. So, yeah. I'm really happy with how this is looking. I'm gonna keep on working on it. Oh, whoop, whoop. Slowly but surely. Look, when you're painting one side of this model, you got to take care of the other side too. You got to keep on dancing back and forth. You can't ignore one side while you're working on the other. You got to make sure you do everything in a balanced fashion. I think I want to take this gold down just a little bit more. This is the point at which I stop looking at the reference material and I start just trying to make it work for me here in the room. Yep, just on that. There we go. Okay, let's wash you out.
Sometimes a clear coat, like a semi-gloss here, can actually do this very subtle tying together of the paint job that you're trying to get. And right now, I'm anticipating that I'm going to hit this with some acrylic to get it in the little nooks and crannies. And I want it to be sealed against those shenanigans of mine. That looks pretty darn good. Yeah. I'm just literally just giving this thing a little bit of a pass. It also helps kind of tie it together. It is really weird how clear coats can kind of wrap their arms around a paint job. All right. We're gonna let that dry for a little bit. Then I'm gonna hit this with some acrylic. That'll be the final pass.
That's nice. It's a nice color. Let's get a little bit of, yeah, and a little bit of, yep. Ooh. Oh. Okay, so all my transparent colors came out of this kit. Smoke here. That is a freaking gorgeous weathering color. I'm very excited about it right now. And I'm going to take that excitement and channel it into action. I don't need this anymore. I kind of think that I also don't need the stand anymore. Instant love of this color. Okay. Yeah. So one of the issues with using the black ink is that it wets out again when I hit it with water. Well, again, I don't have much of a problem with this, but it is presenting an interesting new weathering thing. But again, it's kind of really don't mind. All right, I'm going to add some darkness to that. Let's take this guy. That's what I wanted. Yep, there you go. Show me some details. That's it. Oh, sometimes I put on a weathering coat and I think, is that enough? And then I just do another pass and I'm always rewarded because it's that second pass of color that really brings the whole thing home. Honestly. Ah, yeah, you look great. I'm really happy. In there. All right. All right, I think that's all I could do. I think I've done all the goodness that I can do to this lovely thing. Oh. Let's see here. Let's take a look. This is damn. Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe just a little. Good. Just a little. Yeah. So here's what I was looking at. I look at this and I notice to myself, I say, that corner would just never be clean in the world. So I come at it. And again, I'm holding my brush in a way that like happy mistakes could happen. And I give it a little bit of like there. And then I come in and pull it away. And now, you see what just happened? Yeah. Took care of that trough. I still think I need a little more dirt and grime. Maybe over on that side. And yeah, I could probably spend another day just refining this, but I think we're there. I think this is a lovely, lovely paint job. I'm gonna say it's about 95%. It actually probably looks better to you on camera than it does to me in person because I've made some of the transitions quite bright, and that'll make these things pop. I really like my rainbow effect in here and the burnt tuning fork. And I can't wait to get the Mando costume up and running so I can get some fun beauty shots with this. Dude. Vaporized Jawa. Vaporized Blur. Vaporized Crate Dragon? I can't remember. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this one-day build. Now, please enjoy some close-ups of this beautiful piece, won't you? A note, this is a one-day build that actually happened inside of this one day, right? Yep, one day. We started at noon, it is 5:20. We're on our way home. A rarity! Thank you guys so much for watching that entire video. If you would like to support Tested even further, well, I'm here to tell you that you could become a member. If you follow the links below, you will see there are several tiers of membership depending on how much you'd like to pay and how much access you would like to me and the Tested team. And membership comes, as always, with some excellent benefits, including questions that I'll answer in live streams. The questions have been so amazing, and exclusive videos and exclusive content. Follow the links below, and we will see you next time.